My name is Cindy Orsburn, and I want to talk to you today about real-life problem solving using the creative problem solving method. Creative problem solving was developed by Alec Osborne and Sid Payne. It's a survival skill that can be used in a lifetime. It prepares you well for the job market. Employers always are looking for good problem solvers. You can use it immediately in science and math. It's helpful to solve interpersonal and social relationship issues, and it can make you a resourceful team player at home and in the school. What are the 7 steps? 1, select the problem and record information. 2, gather information about the problem and see if you need more. 3, analyze the research and redefine the problem after you've done the research. 4, find ideas, solutions, and resources to solve the problem. 5, evaluate and select the best solutions and ideas. 6, develop a plan of action to implement your solution. And 7, implement the plan and modify as needed. We're going to talk about all the steps. We'll start with step 1, which is select the problem. There are lots of problems out there to be solved every day. Select the one that seems to be the most important to solve first and write down the facts about the problem and its area of concern. What outcomes do you want? Step 2, gather information about the problem. Ask questions to come up with more information and facts about the problem. Write down the facts, observations, feelings, impressions, inferences, and questions, and keep a list of what you know and want to know. Analyze the research you have done on the problem and redefine it. Write down possible real problems based on the new information and choose the best. Write the problem as a how-to. Be sure to address who is involved and what they want to do. Keep the problem statement brief, and the problem statement should lead you into step 4, which is finding ideas, solutions, and resources to solve the problem. Think of as many ideas and resources as you can. Use the brainstorming technique Scamper to generate ideas. Don't analyze whether they're good or bad, will or won't work. The goal is a large list of unusual creative ideas, and we'll learn a bit about Scamper next. Scamper is an acronym which stands for questions relating to the following. What can you substitute? What can you combine? What can you adapt? What can you modify? What can you put to other uses? What can you eliminate? And what can you reverse? It's a brainstorming tool. It was developed by Alex Osborne in 1941. He was an ad executive, wanted his workers to come up with new and creative ideas, and wrote about it in his book, Applied Imagination. Now we'll learn a little bit more about Scamper. Okay, think about substituting part of your product process for something else by looking for new ideas. Think about combining 2 or more parts of your problem to achieve a different product, process, or to enhance synergy. A is for adapt. Think about which parts of the product process could be adapted to remove the problem, or think how you could change the nature of the process. M is for modify or distort. Think about changing part or all of the current situation or distort it in an unusual way, forcing you to come up with new ways of working. P is put to other purposes. Think of how you might be able to put your current solution, product, or process to other purposes, and think of what you could reuse from somewhere else in order to solve your own problem. E is eliminate. Think of what might happen if you eliminated various parts of the product process, and consider what you might do in that situation. Gives you new ideas. And R is rearrange or reverse. Think of what you would do if part of your problem, product, process worked in reverse or was done in a different order. What would happen? It may make you come up with some new ideas. Okay, now we're continuing on with problem solving. Step 5 is evaluate and select the best ideas or solutions. Some selection criteria to consider includes what is the cost in time, energy, and money, the availability of materials, equipment, and skills, will it work and how hard is it to do, moral and legal consequences, how will it affect people in terms of feelings, morals, and approval. Step 6 is develop a plan of action. Where do you start? When do you start? Can you break it into smaller steps? What help can you get and what problems might occur? lists of short and long-term activities, what needs done first and what can be done later, who needs to get approval and who might not buy into the plan and need convincing. And the last step of the process is implementing the plan and then modifying as needed. So you're going to put your plan into action. You're going to monitor how it's going, see if any problems arise. How will you know if your ideas are working? Then reevaluate and modify when necessary. This is a cyclical process. You'll go back to step one and start again. When you have completed the process, what is the next thing you're going to work on? Okay, so we've talked about Scamper and creative problem solving. We're going to use these in a different setting. Scamper, remember, is substitute, combine, adapt, modify, put to other uses, eliminate, and reverse. And these are the steps for problem solving. Select a problem, gather information, analyze and redefine, find ideas, resources, and solutions, evaluate, get the best solutions, develop a plan of action, and eliminate the plan and implement the plan and modify as needed. Okay, now we're going to review the process, use the 7 steps of problem solving and Scamper, and work on a real life problem. Here's the problem. How to survive in the desert. You have decided to go hiking in the desert. Suddenly you notice that nothing around you looks familiar. You don't have a cell phone, the sun is setting, and while it has been very hot today, it is starting to cool down and get dark. How will you survive until someone finds you? Well, the problem is, how are you going to get rescued? I have some resources in my backpack. I left a note to tell my parents where I went. I dressed in several layers of clothing and wore a hat. I need to stay calm. And I took a desert survival course last summer. Maybe it'll come in handy. I have a pocket knife in my back pocket. Okay, now I've written down the problem and the information on paper. I'm going to gather information about the problem now. In step 2. I know I need a place to spend the night. I have a plastic trash bag in my backpack. I have a few energy bars, a V8 bottle, and a partial bottle of water. I don't know where I am and I have no phone, and I left a note so my folks know where I went. Now we're going to analyze the research and redefine the real problem. I know that I have some food and liquids. I can stay warm in layers of clothing. I need a safe place to sleep. I need to stay calm and relaxed. So my problem redefined is I need to figure out how to survive the night safely and provide for myself until the rescue team shows up. Next, we're going to brainstorm, and I'm going to give you examples of the Scamper steps. So substituting might be shelter from a junker car I found. Combining would be using a garbage bag tied to the antenna as a signal flag. Adapting is using the car mirror as a signal device. Modify, use the pocket knife to cut brush. Put to other uses, burn tires and brush for a signal fire. Eliminate, clear the brush to help make a signal triangle, a distress signal. And reverse, use the tire engine to move soil or plant roots looking for additional water. Now that we've brainstormed, it's time to evaluate the options and come up with the best solution. The car discard is free and a safe place to sleep. I'm not so sure about putting the plastic bag on the antenna. Burning tires and brush for a signal fire is a good idea. The car mirror is a good signaling device, and the triangle as an international distress signal. Develop a plan of action. First, I need to get some brush and use the car tires and brush to build a signal fire. Then I need to get to sleep in the car. In the morning, I'll build the triangle with rocks so a plane can spot it from the sky. I'll use the car for sun shelter and conserve my food and water until rescue help comes. It's time to put my plan into service. I may have to make some adjustments if I'm not found quickly. I'm never leaving home without my cell phone again and some sort of GPS. I'm not going into the desert without a friend again. Oh look, I see a plane. I have to go flag down my rescuers. I guess my plan worked just fine. Problem solving works. Okay, we've just seen how it works, so here's a final review. A quick review of the Scamper techniques. What can I substitute? What can I combine? What can I adapt, modify, put to other uses, eliminate, or reverse? A quick review of the creative problem solving steps, 7 steps. Select a problem and record info, gather further info, analyze the new info and redefine the problem, find ideas, resources, solutions to solve the problem, evaluate and select the best solutions, develop a plan of action, implement the plan, and modify as needed.